Welcome to Real Estate with Real Faces, where homes meet hometown heroes. We're your trio behind the transaction. I'm Claire Springer, a realtor.
I'm Ashley Four, a lender.
And I'm Lindsay Michael, a title rep, bringing you real conversations with real people in our community.
From local business owners to everyday neighbors, we're spotlighting the faces behind the places and the stories behind the sold signs.
So grab your coffee, pull up a chair, and let's talk life, business, and all things real estate with a personal twist.
This episode, we're going to talk about who we are and how we got into our line of business. Does anyone want to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
So I have been in the banking industry since 2007, so a long time. And I just kind of moved around there. And then in 2018, I became a mortgage processor. And that really introduced me, obviously, to the world of real estate. And I did that for a while, and then I did some systems work in the mortgage department at a credit union. And as I was approaching 40 years old, I realized, I've not been one to take chances or take risks. And I thought, I could be a mortgage lender. I see all these other people doing it that I'm like,
Right.
and
I can do that.
I could do that. I could do it. So I think I would go ahead and give it a try. And I've been doing it for about a year now. And yeah, it's hard to get out of this industry.
Yeah, I can. Yeah. I feel like
But I
it's
like
a thing.
I like it.
I'm Claire. I'm a realtor. I got into this. I was a teacher prior. I taught for 10 years, elementary, and I wanted more flexibility. And my family had, we had a store, we had multiple rentals. So I felt like I knew something about real estate and I always found that very interesting. So it was honestly between real estate and like a event planner or travel agent, because listen, if you know me, you know that I love to plan a good event. You know that I love to travel, vacations, like that's my thing. And
Yeah.
and I liked that, but I felt going that direction, if you're a travel agent, or an event planner, you have to give up your weekends and you have to give up a lot of time to go and explore those places and those things and such. And you're tied down to specific dates, right? Whereas with a real estate, yes, we do work our weekends, but we have that option that if my kids have a soccer game or a baseball game, that I can say, hey, I'm so sorry, I'm not available from X time to Y time. I could be available afterwards. So I really liked that aspect. And I also like the aspect of I'm still teaching. I'm still using that teacher education in me. It's just not teaching little people. It's now teaching adults and people about the housing market and how to buy and how to sell, how to invest into property. And I'm still making a difference. I'm still helping.
Yes.
So I felt like I was fulfilling me and what I wanted to do. So I'm still teaching. I'm still being flexible on my time. So yeah, that's why I got into real estate.
My past is dental, so that kind of flipped upside down for me during COVID. I re-entered the dental field after COVID, and it was not the same. It was it just wasn't the same. As I'm sure, you can imagine. Yeah, it's just, they don't teach you the stuff that happens in COVID in school when you're learning, so that's fun. But yeah, afterwards, plus I had a baby during COVID. I was pregnant all through COVID, had a baby during COVID, and it was a lot. So it was very isolating.
Yes.
To be I feel like people that were pregnant, women that were pregnant during COVID, we had our own. It was so isolating, and going to the appointments and stuff by myself. I am not someone who's ever oh, babe, come to an appointment with me. I'm grown. I can go to my own stuff. Like, I'm good. I'll relay everything when I get back, like, fine, whatever. But, like, when you're happy when you're pregnant and you want to, like, enjoy it together. Yeah, I couldn't do any of that. So that was definitely different. So that kind of changed my perspective of thinking about what was important a lot of the time. That's kind of what started it, because before I was always like, make money, go to work. I was working 70, sometimes 80-hour weeks because you're a single mom and that's what you do, right? So then fast forward, and I had a home inspection company reach out to me. And they were like, hey, if you're willing to learn a little something new, we like your attitude. We think like your resume looks really nice. The characteristics could transfer over. And coincidentally enough, the only thing that I've ever been as equally obsessed about in regards to teeth, there's something about it, right? All the information, even the hard stuff, it just clicked with my brain. It was very, I knew that's what I was supposed to be doing. Houses. Before Zillow was even a thing where people wasted time I was checking up houses in between 5th and 6th period because I saw one on the bus this morning when we passed and I want to know what the bathroom looks like. And there were signs. There were signs that I was going to end up in this field at some point, some way, somehow, and then recently I just found out that my family does have more ties to real estate than what I ever knew. My grandpa was always a business guy, a local business guy, owned lots of different things. Whatever, he's crazy, he does everything. Randomly, Thanksgiving, so very recently, literally, he's like, yeah, I really like what you're doing in the real estate field. It's like, thanks. My grandpa has, early onset, dementia, Alzheimer's things right now, so he's becoming a whole new person, himself. Super cool. Sucks, but it's very cool. And he's like, yeah, you're doing all the things. He's like, I ever tell you I had a real estate license? I said, no. So I got online, I looked it up, and right there, yep, you had one. And he was like, it's really cool. It's a very different industry. There's nothing quite like it. I was like, yeah, that's a very good way to say that. And I don't think I'll ever, like you said, it's hard to leave once you're in. I don't think I ever will leave because of the fact, like you said, I got to go to my 12-year-old's field trip for the first time, and I didn't know what I was missing. I was I can take my kids to the apple orchard, blah, blah, blah. But it's different when you see your kids interacting with other adults, teachers, their peers. You can see how they're interacting. You can see how they're learning. And it's an experience, It's something that, yes, you could have done that with your family too, but it wouldn't have quite been the same, right?
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, well, I'm hooked. Great. This is awesome. I get the best of both worlds, family and professional. Yeah. This professional life is a little bit harder, I will say, than just showing up.
Right.
For my, 7 to 7 dental job where all I did all day was open clinics, clean teeth, close clinics, loosely. But it's a lot more goes into it now.
Yeah.
But I like it.
Well, we don't have set hours.
No.
I mean, at least for me, I know there's some realtors out there that they only work from, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. and then they turn their phones off. I love that for you. But if I'm turning my phone off or at least putting it on silent, great. I'm still probably on my computer because but I love it. My husband will be like, why don't you turn off the TV or turn
off the computer.
Turn off the computer, rest. And I'm like, I am.
Yeah,
I'm just seeing what's new on the market.
You don't understand.
Be relaxing.
Yes, I'm looking at homes right now, but not because work told me to.
Yeah.
Because I'm curious.
Yes, exactly. I want to see
No,
what's
I
out
get
there
that.
too.
100%.
I don't know. And I'm not particularly looking for a client right now. I'm just looking at all. I'm very much do what you love, right? So I do. I miss teaching. I do. I miss teaching the kids. I miss the kids. But I left because there were things in teaching that I was not passionate or loving anymore.
Mm.
And I didn't want to be one of those teachers who
got bitter over time.
Yeah. It got bitter, took it out on the kids. It reflected in my teaching. So I knew, And it was kind of like, for me, it was like a sign, right? So I'm in classes for real estate, and I was going to do both at the same time because I figured, you know what, teachers get off at, at 3:00. So I could show houses in the evening time if I had to.
Yeah.
But then I found out I was pregnant with my third. And then my license for teaching was up in renewal that year. So I said, I'm going to dive head first.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I love that. That makes a lot of sense, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So since this was our first episode, we just wanted to introduce ourselves, tell you who we are. And then we'd like to do something fun where we end each episode with a confession. Whether you're hearing a confession from us, or maybe from you guys, or one of our guests. So, does anyone have a confession they'd like to share?
I don't know. I mean,
I can share one of mine.
yeah, share one of yours.
So one of my confessions is it's a learning experience. It was a learning experience. First phone call for a listing. I've been literally in the business for a handful of months.
5 seconds.
For 5 seconds, right? I've only sold a house for a family member. I am stoked to go to this listing. We have an app called Forewarn where you can look up somebody's phone number to see if they have a criminal record, just to be safe for our safety, right? This man just got out of prison. I'm not going to say for what, because he did disclose it to me, but that doesn't need to be shared. Just something that he was in prison for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And he just got out.
Prison, not jail. Prison.
That's prison.
That should narrow it down.
Went to the house. I had pepper spray. I took pepper spray. Had a knife. I got to the house.
Ready for everything.
I was ready for it. I was ready. And there were 2 houses, mind you, okay? Because he was selling 2 houses. Went to that first house. His mom was there. Super nice. Everything was great. I leave and we're like, okay, we're going to go to the next house. He said, hop in my car. I said, oh, no, thank you. I'm going to go into my car. He said, no, I insist. I said, really, it's okay. I'll just meet you there. He said, no, I don't want you to damage your car. Okay.
What?
What does that mean? Oh, I know. So, you meet me. Again, don't do this. I'm new to the business, knowing he just got out of prison. I hop into his passenger seat. We're driving, and I'm like,
I know
just
the story.
doing
And
this.
I'm
I'm done.
anxious.
My pepper spray and my knife are in my car. I am not in my car. I have my phone. I have my phone that nobody had my location on. I have since learned from all this, but did not have the location at that time. We get to the second house. He looks and he goes, we're here. It was woods. It was just woods. And I said, okay. Across the street? Where's here? He said, in there, we're driving through the woods. That's why I told you I didn't want you to think they're what? Sure enough, he drove through those woods. We went to the back. There was a house there. There was a house there.
That would be concerning.
Everything worked out. I'm still here to tell the story.
Yay.
Is
I
he still a client?
He moved out of state.
Oh,
But we did sell both houses. I did suggest that he chop down the front entrance of the woods so people were not driving through the woods.
so he didn't have to chauffeur every showing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Oh my
Pull up to a
god.
showing, there's a butler service to take you to the front door.
Yeah, so he chopped down like the beginning of the woods so you can see a path and driveway and such. But I have since learned that was my confession.
Yes.
Do not do what I do.
Don't do silly stuff.
Yeah, please don't do that. Be safe. Check on your friends. Make sure you have location set.
Yeah, for real.
Someone needs your location. Yeah, because the only person that had my location at that time was my friend who's in Chicago.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that would help, but you know, it was there.
Somebody got it.
Oh, yeah, that did.
Oh,
But,
well,
yeah.
yeah, we're glad you're here.
yes. So there's a question.
Awesome. I don't, none.
I don't
None
have one
today.
right now. I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna have to just like write stuff down.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm very terrible thinking of things on the spot.
We'll have more for you next
Well,
time.
yeah, we'll have.
Awesome.
But thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.